Hello, we are off on another little mini theme park adventure. We're heading over to mainland Europe and we're going to a theme park this time that we've never been to before. It's called Toverland. It's in the Netherlands and we are combining this with a trip to a European Center Parcs. Now we are big Center Parcs fans in the UK. We've done one of the European ones before as well. We've done De Vos en Meren. This time we're going to the one which is right next to Toverland. It's called Het Meadal. I hope I've pronounced that right. So in this video we'll be showing you how we kind of get there and how we find it when we arrive, and also we are going to be heading to Toverland as well. I've never been to that park before, so we're going to be on a bit of an adventure, so stick with us and we'll show you how it goes. It is something a little bit different for us because it's not purely theme parks, this one. I will separate the Toverland video out so that that's a standalone vlog, but I know that sometimes if you want to visit European theme parks, where you stay can really factor into it, and often on-site theme park hotels, as amazing as they are, they can get quite expensive. So we find the European Center Parcs and the similar type setups to be a really good option as a family. As I said, we've never been to this one before, we don't know what to expect, so this just might be helpful for you if you are thinking about going to the Netherlands to check out some theme parks and you kind of want to see what these Center Parcs are like over there. We are getting the ferry from Dover. We're heading over to Dunkirk. This is our favourite crossing to do. It's slightly longer than the Calais one, but it gives you that little bit more downtime on the boat in between. There's a play area and stuff on the boat, which I'll show you. We love getting the ferry. I know people like getting the tunnel, and that is definitely quicker. For me, I just have intrusive thoughts about being under the water. So I always prefer to be sat on top of it, but you know, you've got to work out what's best for you. For me, I love the ferry. I love being able to get out, walk around, go to the shops, grab a coffee, go out on deck for a bit if it's nice weather, and it just works for us. So we are just waiting for this boat to dock now, and we should be on our way in the next half an hour or so. If you haven't been on a ferry before, you might not know what to expect, so I'll show you around. I really enjoy travelling on ferries, so I like being able to stretch my legs for a couple of hours and grab a coffee. So this is the one that goes to Dunkirk. It takes about 2 hours. One end of the boat you've got your self-service restaurant. It's usually a selection of things you can get from there. Nice views down this end as well. Boat is very quiet today. There's usually a lot more people on it, even though it's half term. I think because it's the Sunday, it's quite a bit quieter than normal, so loads of seating available. They've actually blocked off half of it just because it is so quiet. All these boats that go between Dover and Dunkirk at least are exactly the same. Haven't done the Calais one, but they're all very similar. Little arcade. This bit's always quieter, I don't know why. It's like people don't realise there's an upstairs, but there's usually quite a bit of seating up here, and you can get pizzas and bits and bobs if you fancy that. Loads of seating. Look how quiet it is, absolutely dead. Little coffee shop down this end, and you can go out onto the deck as well. It's a little bit windy today, a little bit choppy, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. There you go, you got Dover in the background, and we are heading that way. A little bit choppy, it's okay. Down there's where you drive on, and there's a little deck up there as well. Look, it's basic, but it gets you there, gets you out of the car for a couple of hours, which is good when you've had a long drive, and you can stretch your legs and have a coffee. So yeah, I will always take this over the tunnel. Obviously it doesn't work for everyone, some people prefer to take the tunnel, but for me this one, especially the Dunkirk route, because it does tend to be a bit quieter than the Calais one. It's got a little duty-free shop as well, and it is quite a bit cheaper in there. Again, loads of seating and little play area for the kids, which is useful when you have a preschooler. And time to go, time to get back in the car. I think we might be first off, that's exciting. This is the only place this sticks. If that's not magnetic, that's fine, it'll do. The good thing is when you come through Dover, they check all your passports and everything there, so literally when you get to the other side, you roll straight off and you are on your way. We're about 1 hour from Bruges, which is our stop for the night, so we'll see you there. So this was unexpected. We're staying in Bruges tonight just because it's a convenient place to stop between the ferry and the Center Parcs, and we thought we'd pop into the centre of Bruges to go and get some dinner, and we've ended up in a fun fair. We didn't expect this at all, and it's absolutely massive. I have never seen a fun fair this big. Like, we're in one section of it and it just goes on for miles and miles. There's like a roller coaster, a spinning mouse, a log flume. What are these things? I'm not getting on that. Remember when it was like Spin Doctor at Blackpool Pleasure Beach? One of those. It's too high for me, I don't do heights. But there's absolutely loads of ghost train. There's like a really massive ghost train, which I'm not going to go on. I might send my husband on it.
I'm going on it.
Are you? We'll see how that turns out, but yeah, nice little unexpected finds.
No,
I'm not being funny. This drop tower is double the height of Detonator at Thorpe Park. Like easily double that. It's like
Mission Impossible.
85 metres.
it's apocalypse big. That's crazy. I don't like drop towers. I'm not going on it. It's huge. Good morning. So we've spent our night in Bruges. We stayed here at the Green Park Hotel. It's just a couple of miles outside the centre of Bruges, about 3 miles. Really easy to drive, one straight road. You could also cycle if you've got bikes with you. There's a really nice cycle path which will take you all the way there, but really convenient even though it's slightly outside the city centre. And the facilities here are amazing actually. There's a really nice terrace, there's a swimming pool, play area, a lovely bar and restaurant area, and the breakfast was really good, so highly recommended for a little stop off. And now we're going to do our 3-hour drive onto our Center Parcs, which is very close to Toverland. Right, welcome to my crib. We're in Lodge 225 at Het Meadal, Center Parcs in the Netherlands. Now, we've done a lot of UK Center Parcs. We go to Sherwood at least once a year, often more. So that's kind of our benchmark. We've also done another EU Center Parcs, De Vossemeren, which is not far down the road. But this is our first time at this site, and we are in a 2-bedroom pony cottage. Now, we're only in a pony cottage because we booked it really last minute and that's what was left available. So I'll talk you through what that means. But first of all, I just thought I'd show you around so you can kind of see what you get. It is a different layout to what you get in the UK. So if you're familiar with Center Parcs lodges there, this is slightly different. I'm not sure it's smaller, but it's just a bit weirdly laid out. So you come in back where we were, through your entranceway, you've got a toilet here, very small, like almost aircraft sized toilet, I'd say. No sink in there, which I find a little bit odd. The sink is further through here into your bathroom. So that is the only sink you've got. Nice modern bathroom. This has all been redone fairly recently, I think. Huge shower, which is nice and powerful. And then you've got your little bits and bobs of storage there. Then you're out in the kitchen. Now, this is the smallest bit. This is where I feel that the lodge is a lot smaller compared to the UK, because this is your only work surface, which as someone who does a lot of cooking in the lodge is quite tricky. the 2-bedroom lodges at Sherwood and most of the UK lodges, I think, have the kind of galley kitchen. So you've got work service on both sides, but this is different. But you do still have your dishwasher, obviously your hob. You get a Dolce Gusto coffee machine in this lodge. I don't know if that's because it's a pony lodge, so it's slightly more premium. I don't know if the very basic ones still have one of those, but worth checking. And then obviously all your glasses. The world's smallest bowls. If you do like a big bowl of cereal, I'd maybe bring your own because it's tiny. But yeah, all your basic stuff and your kettle and your sink. Then you come through into your living area, which I would say is a similar size to the 2-bedroom lodges in the UK. Again, this has been redone. Now, what you will find in all the EU Center Parcs, this is very common, you still get your breeze block walls. Doesn't bother me, it's just a wall. But it is different if you're used to the UK Center Parcs ones. Similar out here, your outside garden furniture, you've got an armchair and you've got a TV. Now, this apparently does screen mirroring. We could not get that to work. It is a Samsung TV. Maybe if you have a Samsung phone, you might find that that works a little bit better for you. You can also apparently plug in a Roku or a Fire Stick. We didn't bring one with us. But just a heads up, if you wanted to watch some TV, you've also got your log burner in the corner there, like you get in the UK. Nice big cupboard for all your food and bits and bobs. That's really nice. And you've got a combi oven microwave. This is different again. In the UK, you get a proper oven. This is a kind of all-in-one. We haven't used the oven function on it because it's a bit too much for me to try and figure out. And I'll just cook stuff on the hob. But that is there if you want it. And you've got a really nice big fridge with a small freezer drawer, same as you get in the UK. This is the main bedroom. It's pretty big, bigger, I'd say, than what you get in the UK, but you've got quite a lot of wasted space here. TV, again, can't get that to work. Sort of vanity area, and then that's your wardrobe area over there. Very similar to the UK. Oh, you get a hairdryer as well. Always worth noting. And then this is the second bedroom, which has bunk beds. I think these used to have twin beds. The pony cottage now at least has bunk beds. And again, some storage. And you get a proper wooden cot if you are bringing a young baby with you. There's a wooden high chair as well. So they're pretty good if you are bringing very small children to Center Parcs. They're always well set up for that kind of thing. And then just back out here is your kind of sitting area, which same size table as you'd get in a 2-bedroom lodge in the UK, but obviously smaller if you're used to getting 3-bedroom lodges. Now, the pony lodge thing is an interesting one. So, as I said, we booked this because that was all that was available because we booked really last minute. And we weren't quite sure what it involved. The booking said, essentially, you get your own pet for the week, like a pony pet. We are not horsey people at all. We've got a 4-year-old daughter who occasionally says she'd like to ride a pony, but that's as far as it's ever gone. When we arrived, they gave us an itinerary, and it's actually quite involved. So it was 2 full days from 9 till 4 of doing pony stuff. It was Tuesday and Thursday. So we did Tuesday, we went along to it. It's Thursday today, we're not doing it today. And that might just be because we are not really horsey people. We didn't really feel the need to go back and do another day of it. It's also quite drizzly today, and obviously all the pony stuff is outside. And our daughter didn't particularly express a huge desire to go back and do it again today. What I will say about it, and this might be because we're not horsey people, is we found it quite protracted. Do you say that's fair? Protracted?
Yeah, protracted, almost a bit haphazard.
Yeah.
The itinerary on the day didn't really reflect
No.
the one. And again, it can be flexible, but we were like, right, okay, we're in the free time now. We're going to head away, get a coffee, let Emmy stretch her legs. And they were just like, yeah, we'll just come back at this time and we'll take the horses back. We rock up at that time, and they've gone out for a little pony trek. It's like, it would be nice to have known this.
Yeah.
This information flow was a bit poor, that's all.
Yeah, and there's one thing to note is it kind of makes out that your pony kind of lives near your lodge, and the stables are right here. I can probably show you. They're just over there. But the horses don't live there. They don't have indoor stables there. They actually are based on a farm, which you have to go and walk to. And it's probably a 20-minute walk at a child's pace to this farm. So first thing in the morning, you go and walk to get your pony. You stand around for a bit whilst they work out who's going to get what pony. So you're not kind of assigned one for the week. It's on the day, they look at the heights of the children and say, okay, well, you're best matched to that one and that one. So that takes a bit of time. And then you all walk back to right outside your lodge with your horses, ponies, creatures. So that takes a lot of time. And that's probably like an hour-long process in itself before you're even back here with your pony. Then you do a bit of grooming. And
Get told off.
You do get shouted off a lot. You do get shouted at quite a lot. If you do anything even slightly wrong, you do get shouted at, which probably also didn't give us the best experience. Explains why we're not back there today. So yeah, you groom the horses and then you can ride them. So you just have a little saddle and it's just one that the child sort of holds on in front of them. There's no like reins or anything. But all you do at that point is kind of walk around in the circle around the stables right here. And just in one direction. So that gets boring quite quickly. And then there's a break. And then, you come back in the afternoon and it said there was going to be riding instruction, but there wasn't that. Instead, they set up a little bit of I would say an obstacle area, a few cones and stuff like that for the horses to walk through. And you could make a keychain. And then it said free time, which was the point we said, okay, we'll go and come back. But then that turned out that they went on a pony trek. So, yeah, it wasn't great. And then obviously at the end of the day, you have to go and take your pony back. And you have to do that reverse trip, the 20-minute walk there, 20-minute back. At that point, me and my daughter actually just came and sat in the lodge, and you just took the bubbles back by yourself. Again, it was raining a little bit, so it's just something to bear in mind. I think if you are booking the pony lodge, I would say we had no expectations, and we only booked it because that's what was available. Had there been a normal 2-bedroom villa available, we would have just booked that. But it's quite involved. So if you haven't got very horsey mad kids and you don't want to give 2 days of your holiday to it, if you've got the option to not book it, I probably wouldn't book it. I mean, it makes no difference to us. It's not like we're not being frog marched over there to take part in it today or anything like that. We're just sitting it out. But you do pay a little bit more, I think, for that experience. And if you have got very horsey mad kids, that's quite good because you've got 2 full days of activities that are basically included in your price. But for us, I think she would have preferred to just go on the pony trek. There is a pony trek experience that you can book if you're not staying in a pony lodge, and that you literally rock up right here at the stables, your pony is ready and waiting for you, and you go on a nice pony trek around Center Parcs, which I think is the better option, really. You're not having to clean up the poo, do the grooming, go and walk it back to the farm and do all the other stuff. So yeah, just something to bear in mind, I think. Also, it's a bit rainy today. It was a little bit rainy on our day. So if you are doing it, I would bring wellies, waterproofs, lots of layers and all that kind of stuff because it is all outside. So something to bear in mind if you are booking the pony lodge. I've done some looking around since, and they do pony lodges at another Center Parcs in the EU called, I think it's Erpenheide, is how you say it. That seems a little bit different. They seem to just run those on the mornings. So it's like a half-day experience, which I think would be better. But yeah, I'd probably look into it if you are considering it. It's certainly here at Het Meadal, it's how it's running. So something to bear in mind. Right, we'll go and take a look at the rest of the park. This is the other thing you'll get, like in the UK, you'll get lots of wildlife coming and tapping on your door. This peacock, or is it a peahen? I'm not sure, has come and visited us every day. Wanting some bread, tappity tap 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 tap. One thing you will notice at the European Center Parcs is they're slightly more rustic than the UK ones. The UK ones are obviously the paths and everything are very well kept. These ones, they're a little bit more wild, but obviously it doesn't detract from your holiday. The rest of it's all very similar. This one has a big, they call it the market dome, where a lot of the restaurants are and the pools within that and stuff. So we'll go and take a walk in there. It's a little bit rainy today. There's also quite a decent sized soft play in there, which is something I often think is missing from the UK Center Parcs. So we're going to take a look. One thing to mention about the pony lodges as well is they're very close to the centre, and you don't need to obviously select your lodge number to be close to the centre. When you book one, you're guaranteed to be there. I mean, we are less than 5 minutes walk to the market dome, so that is another positive of them. Very similar to the UK as well. You drive in here and then you park your car, the car park's just over there, you can't really see it, and you only drive in to unload and load up when you're moving in. The rest of the time it's car free. Usually the changeover days on Mondays and Fridays. It's Thursday today and there does seem to be quite a lot of changeover happening, but it's also a bank holiday today in Europe, so I think they maybe skewed their weeks slightly. But yeah, we've hardly seen any cars at all when we've been here, to be fair. Yeah, that's where you would normally drive in and go and leave your car. So if you do need to get to your car during the week, you have to go and walk to it, obviously, if you're going off site like we did when we went to Toverland. So this is inside your market dome. It's really nice actually, there's loads of greenery. If you've been to Longley in the UK, it's a bit like that, a bit like Elvedon, but it's bigger inside, and there's loads of these pools with fish and stuff like that in. Unlike Longley, there are several ways that you can kind of cut through the dome, which means you don't have that like mad walk down the path where you're just sort of following everyone down it. So that's quite nice. You've got a shop on site which is got everything you need. It's a little bit more expensive than a supermarket, but if you do need something, they've got it there. Oh, it smells really nice as well. It's making my tummy rumble. I really want a fresh pastry now. And then you've got a few other shops in here as well. It's like a gift shop and a clothes shop. Little turtles, terrapins, whatever they are as well. Terrapins, I think. Also got these little birds. The other one we went to in Devossemer, and they had flamingos. Not quite flamingos here. No, they do have these little birds. Loads of terrapins. We haven't actually eaten on site here at all, because every single review is like the food is not great and it's overpriced, and that's the same at all of the EU Center Parcs. They all have like the same options. There's like a grand cafe, there's this all-you-can-eat buffet, there's like a grill place, an Italian, and every single review says they're awful. So we just haven't bothered. We probably will end up getting something from the Grand Cafe, like some snacks and cake and something like that. But if you do want to give it a go, they do have an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they do that for breakfast and dinner. Those are the prices as it stands. But yeah, it's just not something we've done. Over here is the Grand Cafe, and you can get like coffees and cakes and snacks over there, and they do lunches, sandwiches and stuff like that. Do some nice cocktails there as well, I can confirm. And then this is the Italian, which is kind of rustic Italian themed, which I always think looks really nice and really inviting, but everyone just says it's awful and really expensive for what it is, so we just haven't bothered, which is a shame. One day we'll have to be guinea pigs and go and do it, but not this trip. There you go. There's your prices. So it's about 18-19 euros for pizza, which I think would be good if they were decent, but apparently they're not. And then this is the grill place, which again, it looks really nice. It's just the reviews are terrible, so we haven't bothered. There you go. That's kind of one half of the market dome. It carries on though all the way around here. It's massive in here. It is great. If it's rainy, everything you need is under here, and you can obviously come and spend some time. It's much bigger than the one at Longley, which is my biggest comparison. I suppose at Elvedon it's kind of similar. You've got your sports centre and stuff inside, but this just feels a lot more open. You've got a tennis court down there. It's not like loads of tennis courts like in the UK. A lot of them are outside. You've got some bowling, and then this is a bar, but they also do coffees and stuff like that. And this is what's a lot better than in the UK. You've got a soft play, a big soft play, a proper one, not like the little small one that you get in the sports cafe. It's actually quite a decent size. We've got a little arcade in here as well. It's one of the ones where you get tickets and you get prizes at the end. Pretty basic. They have got a proper pinball machine though, which I always like to see. One thing I will say around this soft play area, especially when it's raining, there's not loads of seating like directly outside it, so there's plenty available in here, but you are sort of slightly around the corner, so if you've got very young children that could be problematic for you. It's alright for us because she's big enough to come back and find us, but Also, we do have to sit like we're in a disco. But that's fine. We'll grab a coffee for a minute and have a sit. And this is the Aquamundo, as we'd have in the UK, the subtropical swimming paradise. I'm not going to show you in there. It's just through there. This one has got all the things you usually find, like it's got rapids, it's got a tube slide, it's got a wave pool, small outside pool. What else? Kids water play tower, like you'd find in the UK, and I think it's decent actually. Oh, it's got lazy river as well. Yeah, everything you need, fairly compact, but I quite like that. I actually prefer this pool here to the one at De Bossemeren. The one there is an identical copy of the one at Elveden, but it doesn't have the kids water play tower. It's got like the really old kids tiny little paddling pool. So this one here I do think is better for that. It's probably not quite as big and as open. It's more like lots of little pools, but it's nicely laid out, and you can take your kids on the rapids in life jackets here, which you can't do in the UK. And this is just out the back of the market dome. Really good kids play area on the beach, nice and sandy. Some places to sit as well. You can hire pedalos, little boats, and there's the inflatable water course as well. But you can sit out here with a drink from the Grand Cafe, and that's quite nice if your kids are, well, our daughter's 4 and she's quite happy to go and play on there on her own whilst we sit and have a drink, which is always a welcome stage to get to in parenting life. You can see out here they've got one of those inflatable aqua parks, and this little bit of the lake right in front of me you can actually swim in. It's all cordoned off, and it says they check the water quality between May and September so that it's safe for swimming in. Now we have just hired one of these little jeeps, which is quite different to the experience you get in the UK, where you just go and meet all together and you follow a bit of a track and you get some instruction on it. This one, you rock up, you take your jeep, and you are set free to go and explore. You get given a map which will show you which route to follow. It's quite nice, just get to go off on our own. It's also significantly cheaper than the UK equivalent. I think we paid something like £20, £20 to £25. This experience was €15, so probably about £12, something like that, which seems pretty good. It has been raining quite a lot, so pray for my trainers. Just finished her little Jeep safari there. I think that was really good for €15. It took us about half an hour to walk it with her, and there's some really good like puddles and off-road bits in there which were good for her. Obviously it's been raining quite a lot, so the puddles were full. I guess if you come when it's been dry you haven't got them, but yeah, I thought it was really good. This is something we found at all the Center Parcs, the Landal that we've been to in the EU as well. They always have a little petting farm, which is nice. You can just come in and animals kind of roaming around. Obviously they're all really used to kids being around them, and you can go and pet them, and they do animal feeding usually first thing in the morning if you want to feed them. This one has got some very cute tiny little goats. Hello.
These are really sweet. Daddy,
So we really haven't done that many activities whilst we've been here, because we spent a day at Toverland, and with the swimming and playgrounds and stuff like that, we just don't really feel like we need to most of the time. But we have decided to play a game of crazy golf, because it's inside and it's a little bit grey and windy outside today. It's quite a good little course, quite well themed. Not too expensive either. It was, I think, €6, €7 each to come and have a go at this. The only slight annoyance is the balls, like little foam balls. They're not normal golf balls, so they go flying off a bit all over the place, but it's good fun. So that just about sums up my little whistle-stop tour of Center Parcs Het Meerdal for you. If you are coming, hope you have an amazing time here. They definitely are very good value over here compared to the UK if you're coming in school holidays. I think out of season actually, they're pretty comparable in price. I mean, I've had Mondays to Fridays at Center Parcs, Sherwood Forest for about £300 for a 2-bedroom lodge. The deals are there to be had if you can go out of school time, but obviously during May half term and things like that, the price goes crazy. So coming over to Europe is definitely cheaper. I would definitely come back to this park again. I think it's got everything we need. Big difference between here and De Vossenmeren, which is where we stayed last time, which is slightly closer to Efteling, is that's got the Pirate Cove, Pirate Adventure building. I can't quite remember what it's called. It's basically an indoor play area that's not soft play. It's got sand and water and high nets and things like that, which is quite unique, and that's the only one of these Center Parcs which has got that one. There's also a few more activities on the lake there. You could do like wakeboarding, paddleboarding, things like that. But other than that, they're fairly comparable. I think I actually prefer the pool here to the one at De Vossenmeren. The kids area is definitely better here, but they're all much of a muchness, to be honest. So it just depends how close you want to be to something. If you want to be a bit closer to Efteling, or obviously here was brilliant for Toverland. We're literally 10 minutes away, and you're still only less than an hour from Efteling as well if you did want to go there. So I hope it's been useful. Tomorrow we'll be leaving. We'll be heading back towards Dunkirk. We're stopping for a couple of nights just near Dunkirk before heading back to the UK. My full vlog from Toverland will be coming on the channel, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that one, if you're interested to see what that is like as a family theme park over here on the continent. I think it's well worth visiting if you've got kids of any age, but yeah, more detail on that in the vlog which is to follow. So this is our final stop just before we get the boat back to the UK. It's in a town called Nieuwpoort. I'm from Nieuwpoort in South Wales, so I do find that quite funny. Just on the Belgian coast. We're only about half an hour maybe from Dunkirk, maybe a little bit less. And this has been really good for us. They've got family rooms. There is a beach about a 10-minute walk that way. Nice bar and restaurant area. There's a kids play park around the back as well. Family rooms are pretty basic, but it wasn't expensive at all, and it's really good as a little stop-off point. Previously we've just stayed at the Campanile in Dunkirk, which again is fine, but this is just a little bit nicer because you've got the beach and the seafront, and there's lots of restaurants and bars and stuff down there. So I would definitely recommend booking a little stay in here if you are on your way over to the Netherlands and you're wanting to break up your journey somewhere just after the ferry crossing. One other thing about this place as well is it's very close to Plopsaland, less than 20 minutes away in the car, or you can walk to a tram stop which is about a 5-minute walk away, jump on the tram there, and that'll take you straight literally to the Plopsaland entrance. They've got their own tram stop there, and I think it's about €3 each way, so €6 return. And if you've got younger kids, I don't know if it's 4 and under, 5 and under, something like that, they're free as well. We actually drove yesterday and paid to park, but if we came again, I think we'd definitely jump on the tram. They are running down that line all the time, so that's really useful if you're wanting to do another theme park visit whilst you're here as well.